Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late night Raw review. This show was pretty lame. I mean, besides one thing, and like again, it's because what, like the greatest wrestler to ever return in this decade, is there. Doesn't mean the show is gonna be great entirely. Just one good thing doesn't make a show good. But really, is it gonna be good? Like, what he's like. That's the problem though. Like, I love Edge and I'm happy he's back. But like, the problem is now he's gonna start working with wrestlers that don't deserve like really like, people who he should even be on like losing or whatever fuck. Just what I'm saying. Where like really, if he's feuding with someone, it's like really he's feuding with that guy. I mean, it's a good idea. I don't know. But I'm just like worried. Like, really, are they gonna try to make like the like? Oh, I'm almost about to reveal like that guy, like, a potential. He's gonna be potentially beating Edge in a match if they were ever have a match. Just saying. But other than that, freaking the show, it is what it is. Anyways, grab your Coca-Cola or whatever the fuck. Bring my niece there. Inspired to make some bitches go, oh shit, because it's good stuff. All right. Oh shit, cheers. Still dealing with my collarbone issue, but we'll make the best of it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll make the best of it. Come on, it's so hard to try to get something to drink, though. Cheers. So let's see what the damage is, shall we? Let's talk about Raw. Alright, so Raw started with Seth Rollins. I think, started with Seth Rollins, because no other great way to start Raw with one of the lowest drawing champions in history. Seth says that he has breaking news that he will get his WWE title match against Big E on day one, on January 1st, 2022. Because get it, that's the first day of the year. I'm telling you, why not just call this show New Year's Revolution? Why is it day one? Really, that's the pay-per-view name? Like, come on here. So fucking lame. I might make a video about that, but like, are they really gonna listen to me? They're gonna change the name of the pay-per-view? Like, really? Wouldn't it make sense, though? Like, kind of call it New Year's Revolution? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So, Seth Rollins defeats Finn Balor in the first match, and no one really cares. Then Austin Theory's with Vince McMahon, and they're gonna watch Raw together to see if people expect the unexpected. Vince adds a warning. Theory says to tell it if he ever steals from him again, he will fuck him. What? I don't know. There's some weird people. Well, he's gonna probably fire or whatever. That's what he said. To expect the unexpected. That's what he said. Sonya Dykeville holds a contract signed between Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. They will face off next week for the Raw Women's title, and they fought. For tonight's announced they're gonna have a 5-on-5 tag team match, which makes more sense to do for a Survivor Series match. Isn't it funny? Survivor Series just happened, and now they're doing something that makes more sense for a Survivor Series match. I don't know what to tell you. So 10-man tags them now. It's like, really? Whatever. Anyways, Riddle tells Randy Orton to trust him and closes his eyes. And he ends up picking a wig for him. So this is what Orton looks like. Really? I don't know. Then RK Bro defeats Ziggler and Robert Roode to retain the tag titles. Then Kevin Owens tells Seth Rollins that he has big news, that if he beats Big E, he will be added to the WWE title match at day one. Which again, what was the point for this number one contenders match? So what was the point? if like literally, what was the point of even because that ladder match they did, that fucking Fatal 4 ladder match where Seth Rollins won? What was the point of that then? What didn't that earn him a #1 contenders match, like just one-on-one, and Kevin Owens was in that same match? What sense does this make? You know, it would make more sense maybe if you done it, I don't know, tonight or whatever. Especially like even Austin Theory got a title match before fucking Seth Rollins. Wouldn't it make sense you at least did like a one-on-one title match with Big E and Rollins, and maybe who knows, even Kevin Owens gets involved. Fucking this would lead to that stupid triple threat match for day one. You know what I mean? I don't know what to tell you. Cause like really, like whatever. AJ Styles says he can't see due to Angelo Dawson spraying him in the face with a fire extinguisher last week. AJ blames the Street Profits for giving him the smoke and promises he will burn them. So basically he's pulling a Nidia. That's what he's probably doing. And what's with everybody now? Like, everybody, if they get hit, they'll have a nose fucking, they'll cover their noses and shit like that. Why is with all these stupid storylines recently where they'll get hurt, they'll have to deal with a freaking, like, wow, it's just, that's like been a thing now for freaking since, I don't know. So Edge is back. So we get an Edge segment. It's always great to see Edge. It's exciting. Edge is freaking coming out. His entrance is the coolest thing ever. Okay, and he's an embodiment of what wrestling is. This is clearly a guy that actually loves. People say, this guy loves the business. You gotta question yourself. Does this guy really love the business as much as like Edge loves it? Because you got a guy like Edge who clearly does love this business. He freaking loved it in freaking childhood. He wrote an essay about it. Freaking, wanted to do this his entire life. And came back just to do this. So question yourself this. If you guys think you love wrestling, yeah, you do love it as much as Edge does. You know what I mean there? He comes out. He says that, he's back on Raw. He's back at Strong Island. And then how there's new opponents like AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Big E. So, yeah. Yeah, he says that. But like he's on Raw. Again, I would have rather if he was to be on both shows. Yeah, he says really exciting, and then he gets interrupted by The Miz. Yes, The Miz. Again, I'm not a big Miz fan. I hate him. It's not because, he's a heel. It's just the guy is literally terrible. So this is Edge's next big feud and his first feud on Raw. Really? The Miz? Like, come on. Okay. Say what you want about Seth Rollins. But at least it was an intro. Oh, yeah. Fucking Edge was praising Seth Rollins, saying, I'm not surprised he's #1 contender. He's actually pretty damn impressive performer. That's what he said. I don't know. But, yeah. Freaking The Miz returns from Dancing with the Stars. And I'm glad he lost. And I'm happy that freaking Martin Kova punched him. I would rather Martin Kova, but apparently Martin Kova, he got eliminated early on the show. Like, I would rather hit fucking, like, again, Martin Kova is way better than The Miz, so I'm surprised it lasted that long, but who cares? At least he didn't want, haha. And then fucking Stephanie McMahon's like, oh, I'm so heartbroken you lost, Miz. After she released people, honestly, that's funny, but, like, who gives a fuck, So, we get a stupid video package of The Miz returning from Hollywood, from Dancing with the Stars. Basically, The Miz saying, he gets that Edge gets a big return treatment, but not The Miz. Maurice is there too. Maurice looks fucking amazing. She looks fucking hotter than all these fucking bitches on fucking her main roster. She's definitely a, big black couchable. You know what I mean? Then, yeah. Miz says Edge's career now amounts to living for big comebacks, getting injured, and coming back. Meanwhile, Miz has been representing WWE on one of the biggest TV shows. He goes on to say how he worked injured, and always promoting WWE, but doesn't get a big return in Pyro play or fan pop when he returns. But what really irks him and pisses him off is one of the biggest female superstars, his wife Maurice, is back, and he had to listen to Edge and how The Miz is even on his radar and the potential opponents. Edge picks fun of Miz for his Dancing with the Stars dancing. Marie says that while Edge was busy chopping wood, his husband was being the most charismatic and most entertaining on the show. Edge pokes fun at The Miz for his placement on Dance with the Stars show. Miz says that he placed where he did because the WWE fans forgot to vote for him. Miz says, he goes on to say that, while he was dancing with the Stars, Edge was dancing with body full of injuries. Edge believes Miz came out and interrupted him because he immediately puts him on the main event picture. Edge could take the easy route and gets the fans to chant Miz sucks, and he does that anyways, which upsets Maurice. Miz asks how dare Edge and the fans, and Miz says he is an era-defining superstar and deserves respect. He says he was 6 months ago he was WWE champion, while Edge was and asked when Edge was champion the last time. And he basically said that how he was champion at WrestleMania main eventing while Edge was on the opening. Isn't that fucking sad too? Like, really Edge, his last match, and it was The Miz that main evented more than him. Especially freaking the Royal Rumble. Alberto Del Rio, he won the fucking the Rumble. Wouldn't that make sense? He was the main event of WrestleMania. Like, what the fuck? Like, it makes more sense. If sure. It's understandable why they did it, right? Because Rock and Cena, but that's just gonna show how Miz is an afterthought. But like, really, that's what ends the show too. Miz versus Cena. And it ends with The Rock, just to lead to something the next year. And then Miz is still champion. Isn't that fucking pathetic? Don't you think that's fucking pathetic? Isn't that sad? Like, it would have been better, honestly, looking back at it, like, why not Edge? Like, because even though, don't get me wrong, the match wasn't that great. It was a decent match, in my opinion, if you wanted my opinion on Edge versus Del Rio. The match was a decent match, actually. A good opening match. Honestly, it would have been a way better match to main event than freaking, just looking back at it, than freaking Cena and freaking Miz. If anything, I would rather that match open the show. But whatever. And they did whatever, and then that make people maybe guess, like, what's going to happen on Raw tomorrow? Or like, just what's going to happen? Something's going to happen later on that night. Imagine if that's what also lead to maybe Rock and Cena. If Rock was the host, maybe they announced their match, to the next year instead of the Raw. Wouldn't that be something? Who knows? Whatever. So yeah, Miz goes on a trash talking. It says Edge was great in the ring and had a career that most dream of, but he said he surpassed him a long time. In his opinion, Edge should have stayed home for good. Edge says Miz is right, that he can't do much longer and his window is small, but he fought back with every fiber in his being and to get this window back. Edge says every guy in the locker room wants to stand across him, but to test themselves and their mutual respect there. Something Miz will never know about because they don't respect him, they say. And all he does, he come here, bitch and moan why he doesn't have the same as Miz does. Edge says Lil Mizzy must need to pat him back. Edge says that he will give Miz a pat on the back, and he goes on about how Miz made it here in the ring with him, coming from Tough Enough, worked the WrestleMania main event against John Cena and The Rock as a special enforcer and won. Edge goes on to praise and props to Miz, saying that he made it further and higher than anyone thought he could or would, except Miz himself, and he thought it, believed that they made it happen. Edge says the big difference between them is that Edge fought every fiber in his being and get his small window back, while the Miz used it to basically he said that basically Miz used it. Sorry. Yeah, basically he said that Miz used it. Fucking, I can't read. Oh boy. Miz used it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, Miz used this as a notoriety for his next endeavor. Reality show, our dance competition as well. He left his partner to get fired. Basically, a nod to John Morrison getting fired. So then, little edgy shoot. Basically said that he's like while he'll do his own thing while he'll try to focus on something he could do outside WWE. His friends will get fired from WWE. So that was kind of interesting. Edge dares the Miz to jump so they'll dance right now. The Miz, he says, "Yo, you want to dance?" And then basically just cowardly out. And yeah, people are saying this is a ripoff of, or basically this is just them trying to top MJF and CM Punk from Dynamite. In all honesty, I don't think you could really compare, or I don't know. I don't really care. Because honestly, I do think, looking back up, and again, I don't like The Miz, and I don't really give a fuck about MJF. But there's some interesting shit going on. In all honesty, I hate to be like a fan, I'm just happy that they're both doing. I mean, in all honesty, I think both are good. And I don't know why. If all honesty, I probably would say that I like this better because it was not just, it was like short, but not just that. It's just, I think Edge is a better talker. Edge, because you have a guy who's a better talker. I think Edge is so much a better talker than freaking CM Punk and even MJF. I'm not saying MJF and the Punk thing was not bad. It was actually the best thing that AEW done in a long time. Or it's probably the best thing they ever really done, And that's something that's, if they keep up with shit like that, maybe people would actually give a shit about AEW. But the reality is, the reason why I will, kind of don't mind this more is because it's, and people say, oh, they're just trying hard. Maybe, I don't know, but, the reality is I do think it worked. Because, oh yeah, freaking Edge, how can I say this? Edge pointed out how, Miz is just a guy that gets his name chant for cheap heat. Or is that what he said? I forgot to say that. Yeah, basically they reference AEW. So what's I going to say? Edge says, he has people on other shows saying his name just to get a cheap reaction, but ends up leaving his party to get fired, and he issued a challenge to Miz, and they said no. Yeah, so basically, he mentions AEW, how they mentioned the Miz, how CM Punk mentioned, oh, you're just a cheap Miz to MJF. So, yeah. It's not bad, So maybe, yeah, this is and it's funny, you got kind of some similarities with being both fused now from W and AEW. Edge is the returning legend, he's coming back after years. Punk is kind of same thing, even though he left WWE without getting injured or whatever. He just left because he was tired of it. Makes him a quitter, but whatever. But in a way, yes, this kind of is the same shit maybe. I don't know. In this case, though, it's Miz interrupting Edge, who gets the bet, because he's the big return. If you really think about it, honestly, this makes more sense, because Miz is the one. Because again, both wrestlers return tonight. Dynamite, MJF did not it's not like he returned. It's just a guy he just got interrupted, which again is kind of usual at AEW. Everybody just interrupts each other to some stupid feud shit. There's not why they hate each other. In a way, this makes more sense. Even though I hate The Miz, I think he's boring and garbage. But yeah, sure, he's better than a lot of indie fucks. But this makes more fucking sense in terms of storyline-wise. Which makes me kind of give a fuck a little bit. Even though I think, really, Edge is feuding with The Miz, you kind of care more. That's the thing. So, but regardless, I'm looking forward to both the feud. And I think, you know what? There's something to like about both of them. So, there you go. It's just, again, though, like I said with AEW, it's just everybody interrupts each other. There's no story, What's the real story besides, they're just feuding for the fake of it, If you really think about it, MJF and CM Punk, what's the reason for the feuding? Because CM Punk freaking mentioned MJF, he's a cheap Miz, Or you just interrupt them for, some dumb reason. I don't know. It is what it is, but in this case, it makes sense because, Miz is the guy who's returning, but he doesn't get this, why aren't people giving a fuck about me kind of thing, So it kind of makes more sense with this. But regardless, let's look forward to both of them. So it's cool to see Edge. I hope, he does good things. I would love it if Edge, definitely be back on SmackDown again, even though we have Brock's going to be there and shit like that. But it would be nice if Edge, I don't think he should win the Rumble. I'm not saying that. But, like, I would love to see if Edge, something like, I don't think Edge versus Big E should happen. I don't think that, because, again, face versus face. I would rather, if anything, I don't mind the idea of him. I know people want to say, oh, why not have Edge versus Styles? I don't mind that as a WrestleMania match, really. I don't mind it. Just have it be like a one match deal. I don't think it should be a multiple feud thing like fucking Orton or Seth Rollins. I think, Edge should. Why not? Just have Edge face some guy, just whatever. And maybe by the time when Money in Bank happens, I would love if Edge could win Money in Bank and cash in on Roman Reigns. I think Edge should be the one to defeat Roman Reigns, honestly. And then, maybe Reigns could win back the title. Then that way that gives people, that gives something to make get people tired of Reigns. That way, when Reigns wins back the title, it'll be still kind of like, oh, he's a champion again after maybe defeating Edge. And then you can do the whole Rock versus Roman thing for WrestleMania 39, because that's the plan. They're not going to do Rock versus Reigns, I believe, this year. They're going to do probably Rock versus Lesnar, which, again, I don't mind if he wins, but people think that would be like a waste or something. Same thing maybe could be Edge, but reality, again, who's really worthy enough to beat Reigns? That's the thing. If anything, you kind of need guys like either Edge or even The Rock or freaking Brock Lesnar. Who is this young star? What, Austin Theory to beat Reigns? Or fucking whoever? Some people say, oh, it should be Walter. Why Walter? Fuck off. That guy with fucking big socks and no one knows the fuck he is. If anything, I would, the only guy who's, a promising young star, really, is sort of Braun Breaker. But wouldn't that be too early for him? You know what I mean? You gotta need to wait, a year or two, or even 3 years, even, to build him up better. Have him establish a mid-carder, then become a main eventer. And we can't honestly wait for that. Maybe in the future, you could do Braun Breaker and Reigns when he wins back the title or whatever. If he's champion again, you could kind of do what you did with Triple H and shit. You could still have people win the title. For people to say it's gonna ruin Reigns. Did it ruin Triple H when he lost the title to fucking Chris Benoit? Did it ruin Triple H when he lost the title to fucking Goldberg? Did it ruin fucking Triple H when he lost to the Batista even? It's not a problem if guys was Edge or Lesnar, honestly. Because, again, fucking Lesnar could fulfill the Goldberg route, like how Triple H, facing Goldberg. Even Edge, It's not a problem if they were to freaking defeat Reigns. Because they're really established stars. It makes sense. Just saying. Alright? It's not really a big problem. It just means that maybe have Reigns beat them again, and that's why you establish a story. Whatever makes sense story-wise, what should happen. Just saying, people. Alright? That's just what I want to say. Street Profits defeats an Alpha Academy, and AJ Styles regains his visions, apparently. Tries to screw over Montez Ford, but Ford saw it coming, so he lost his... I don't even know. I don't care. This is the same guy who faced Undertaker, by the way, people, in his last match. I used to freaking not pretend to care about Styles. Listen, I don't mind Styles, but my God, is he being treated like a jobber. This is the same guy who fucking faced The Undertaker in his last fucking match. In all honesty, listen, don't get me wrong, the Boneyard match is a cool match. But my God, it's so fucking overrated. I love Undertaker. Undertaker's my number one. But to act like it's so good, because Styles made him look good. No, come on. It was a fucking cinematic match. I would rather have seen a normal match or whatever. Or just a match obviously in front of friends. But obviously you couldn't do it because it was WrestleMania. I mean, I would love to see a rematch between them. But again, Undertaker wanted to retire on his own terms. And so be it, good for him. But fuck. To act like their Styles is so great. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Come on here. Styles is just your indie fuck. I love Styles. Don't get me wrong. He's, he's not gay. He's not a fucking libtard faggot. Sure, he's okay. He's the only wrestler that probably, that's not too hateable. But the reality is to act like he's so good. Come on here. But honestly, like, what the fuck? Like, what are they doing? Like, that's also WWE's fault. Like, what the fuck are they doing booking styles like this? Like, fuck, this is the same guy who faced Undertaker in his last fucking match, you know? Damian Priest defeats Apollo Crews to retain his United States title. Really? Like, I was looking for, like, shouldn't you have been building this? I don't fucking know or care. Why that, like, didn't Damian Priest turn heel? Like, I don't even know what the fuck happened. I don't care. The Mysterios defeats the Hurt Business. Just going to show what's the point for the Hurt Business. Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Ash defeated Becky Lynch, Carmella, Queen Zelina Vega, Tamina, and Doudrop. And basically what could have, should have been, like, if you think about it, this would have made sense more as a Survivor Series thing, but whatever. Veer Mahan is coming to Raw. Who the fuck cares? And the main event, Kevin Owens defeats Big A by disqualification after Seth Rollins attacked him. It will be Big E versus Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the WWE title at day 1, which is announced as, which was what happened in the main event. So basically a match that wasted time. It wasn't even because again, we've seen the match before, it was boring. Who the fuck cares? It was just two fatty fucks having a fatty off, okay? And Seth Rollins got angry. I'm angry, yeah. So, yeah, great. A triple threat match. It takes away the purpose for the when they had that ladder match for Seth Rollins to be the number 1 contender. It takes away the point for their fucking one-on-one match. So, and we have to wait for a month for this match. Like, understand, like, sure, build your match, but are they? But you have to understand, this is WWE here. Are they really gonna build up this match good? And second, really, how this match will be good if it's fucking these guys who have no charisma or character? I know all the smarts, they think this match is good because they like Seth Rollins and shit. They like indie shit, but like, come on here. This is the WWE title match. This is something that's interesting, apparently. I'm more intrigued with Edge versus Miz, for fuck's sakes. But whatever. Maybe Brock and Reigns might be the main event of day 1 if they do that. So, I don't know. Oh yeah, there was a video package of Bobby Lashley during the show. I didn't know what the fuck whatever. And also Austin Theory gets punched, then gets like slapped by Vince McMahon and says, you got a lot to learn. I'm telling you, for some reason they're trying to make Austin Theory someone to give a fuck about. And I'm telling you, my theory's coming true. Just because of Vince Russo and because for some reason he likes, I don't know. Just watch my previous video. It'll make sense. Really, Austin Theory though, like, come on. Overall, Raw was kind of lame, but it was cool seeing Edge. That's all I have to really say. I missed most of the show, so I had to rewatch some of it on YouTube. But all I have to say, definitely was worth watching was the Edge shit. So, and but it was trying so hard to be AEW. Yeah, let's compare Punk and like a Punk fucking jobber who not jobber. I'm not saying Punk's a jobber, but. God, he sure does look like one after a UFC fight, right? Freaking, yeah, let's take Punk, who quit WWE, and fucking MJF, who wishes to be like, who literally aspires to be like The Miz, and compare them to a guy who's like a master pro. If you want to call a masterclass promo, just look at Edge himself, who can actually cut a damn promo. Edge is a fucking promo motherfucker. He can cut a promo with like $1 million. He can act for shit too, man. Edge rules. Edge should be a fucking. It would be nice, definitely. Edge deserves a. Fuck it, give Edge both the titles. Fuck it, have Edge with both the fucking titles, combine them, be unified, undisputed champion. Because he's the only guy worth doing. Have him feud with Lesnar. Have him feud with fucking. I don't know, anybody who's legit cool. Because fuck everybody. Give the title to Edge. We need Edge more than ever. On this day, I see clearly that Edge is the only great thing about WWE. That's why I'm gonna see people. I'm just keeping it real. Get your fucking games. You call us my news game. Inspire, make some bitches go, oh shit, oh shit. Cheers. Until next time. Peace. Yeah, bye.